right, my friends, welcome to the show, Mr. Andy Dooley, my man. This guy is a man of faith. He is an author. He is an entrepreneur. He is a host, a social media host for the Seattle Seahawks. We were just having a little offline conversation, talking about how beautiful Seattle is this time of year, but I'm really excited for this conversation. Andy, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored.
Yeah, dude. Give me a little download. Who are you and why are you here, man? Why are you here on this planet?
Yeah, my name is Andy Dooley. I am a husband. I am a father of 4 little nuggets. They're beautiful kids. Yeah. Ranging from ages 9 to 2. So you can imagine our household and why it's very imperative to be on top of your fitness game, running around with these kids. I'm a fitness coach. I'm an entrepreneur, author, in-game host for the Seattle Seahawks. And all around just love what I do. I love people. I enjoy being in people's lives and making an impact. And I know I'm here for a reason to do those things, impact people's lives, gather people, reach out to people. And I have a heart that empathizes for people that goes through a lot of stuff. So I try to do my best of empowering people as much as I can.
And there's a lot to pull on there. I think probably the first thing I want to talk about, well, 2 things I want to pull on, and we'll take in 2 different directions. But one, the heart to empathize. I found from experience, the guys with the biggest hearts are typically the ones that went through a lot of struggle growing up. I don't know if that is your story at all.
Very much so.
Cool, man. I'd love to touch on that. And then the second piece that we can kind of piggyback off of is the foundation of fitness to make you a good father. You got 4 kids running around, but you knew that the foundation to you being able to stay grounded and present lives in fitness. And that is something so many men need to anchor into.
Absolutely. Yes, I went through quite a bit. I was born in Hawaii. My mom's from Trinidad and my dad was in the military. And so we traveled a ton. And in Ohio, there was a point, I don't think I've shared this on the mic yet, but yeah, when I was 3 years old, my mom one night took me out and she wanted to get the newspaper at like midnight. For some reason, she wanted to get the newspaper and I'm in the car with her. And as she gets out the car, this is crazy. As a 3-year-old, I'm just messing around with the stick. So I put it in neutral. So the car starts rolling towards an intersection. My mom freaks out, runs around the car to try to open the door and hop in to stop the car. But she slips and she had like a trench coat on. And the trench coat gets drug underneath the tire and pulls underneath. So the car's on top of her.
Oh my God.
And as a 3-year-old, you don't know what's really going on. You just know something's wrong. You hear the screaming, the sounds of pain, and out of nowhere, the car just stops. And I don't know how this happened. All I remember is looking to the right, and I saw this lady standing by my car with this bright, vibrant blue shirt on, like radiating. And then next thing you know is the police showed up. And they're trying to revive my mom. I'm in the back of a paddy wagon. I'm already in the back of a police car at 3, and my mom was gone for, I think she said 30 seconds, but God told her she wasn't done yet. So she came back and immediately she felt all the pain, everything. Right. And so from that point on, I remember thinking it was my fault that I almost killed my mom.
Wow.
And I didn't talk for months. I couldn't speak. I couldn't say nothing. I told my parents eventually, once I was able to talk, I'm like, I'm never driving. I'm never going to drive ever. And it impacted my life so much that I really believe I needed counseling. But I think, being able to go to church and my dad, mom, and grandparents praying over me, that really helped me through a very traumatic experience.
Yeah, man. And thank you so much for being vulnerable and sharing that. There's so much there. So many men don't talk about the trauma from the early childhood, where they create these unconscious agreements that it's my fault. There's something wrong with me. I'm the reason that this accident, this tragedy, something happened, whether it be a divorce or a death in the family. As kids, we're narcissistic. We think everything is about us because it has to be.
True. Yeah.
It has to be. And we make these unconscious agreements at a very young age that causes us to go into adulthood, continuing to make those same unconscious agreements. Man, it sounds like it didn't trouble you too much from the standpoint of you got a good support system, good network, and good healing, after that.
Yes. It's been quite a journey, to say the least.
Yeah, man. How did you get into the fitness? Because you tapped on that as well, saying that, fitness is kind of the foundation for it. So you got this good, solid upbringing, it sounds like, foundation there. How did fitness really become a crucial part of your life?
Yeah, my dad was in the military. He did martial arts. He did all kinds of sports. And we watched him and my mom. My mom also did martial arts. And I fell in love with watching, what the body can do. And seeing my dad train for, weekends with the Army where he had to go off for basic training. And so then I started training with him and working out with him. So it just became intrinsic and a part of my life as just what you do. And then I got into sports, playing football at 6. And from that point on, I was playing football, basketball, track, boxing, you name it. And even to this very day, because I was used to that cycle, it doesn't matter whatever time it is, I have to be moving. I have to be in a training mode. And sometimes my training intensity heightens during like football or training season because I was just used to that. And because it's been a part of my life, I've kept it as a part of my life. I didn't drop it. It's just a part of who I am. It's ingrained in me. And with that, my wife would tell you, when she met me, she knew I was into fitness. My kids, when they came out the womb, they knew I was in fitness.
Yeah, man.
And a lot of things are caught more than it's taught. The kids see me and they want to do it.
That's what's up. Yeah, that is one of the best things I think all parents need to know is the best lessons in life are caught, not taught. And we learn everything through modeling, whether it be good or bad behavior. We learn it through modeling. That is gangster, man. I love that. All right. So this fitness background, it is a non-negotiable for you. And now you're in the space of helping men and women get fit, right? That's one of the primary things that you're doing these days with fitness coaching.
Yeah. Also the psychological part of it. It's so much more than just the physical aspect of getting yourself fit. I don't know if you've seen that show called Fit to Fat to Fat to Fit.
Yeah.
So I've known Drew Manning and seen what he's done, but then we just were watching the show again, and it goes to show, like, you could see the differences between people, even the clients I've dealt with. If you don't get this here, which is your mind, if you're listening, I'm pointing at my brain. If that is not in place and ready to go, the rest will not follow. And it's such a mental challenge. Once you start mentally and get yourself going and take one day, one step, get 1% better at a time, that's where you see the progress. Because once you're disciplined and consistent, then you look back, if you're getting 1% better each day for 30 days, you look back, you're 30% better than where you started.
That's right. But so, what do you think the reason is, though, that so many people start, stop, or don't stay with something? And you know this in the fitness space, but I'd love to hear your perspective.
Yeah, I think the way they go into it, they want a quick fix, so if it's a quick fix mentality, they're going into it thinking they're going to see results in 2 days because they worked out, and if they don't see the results that they're expecting to happen within a small time frame, then they get upset, they get discouraged, and then they quit because it gets tough. At the end of the day, January 1st is coming.
Yep.
And everyone's like, I'm going to get right in January. And everyone has the ambition to do that, which I think it's awesome if you want that psychological reboot. But once you get going, it becomes real. And if you're not mentally ready for the reality of just being consistent and disciplined, you will fail. It happens over and over and over and over.
Yep. Everybody joins January 1st, and come January 17th, they're out. The gyms are packed for the first 3 weeks, and everyone's all in. New Year's resolutions. They're motivated, they're inspired, and then they're struggling 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
I think the thing that I'd love just to pull on just a thread just a little bit more, man, because you obviously have been doing the fitness thing for your entire life. It's a non-negotiable. Your kids are learning lessons. Your wife knew it. Fitness is the foundation to personal development. It is the gateway for us. But if you could give someone that piece of advice where they're 3 weeks in, they're going to be the majority of people where they've made that New Year's resolution, but they're getting to the point where they don't know how to keep pushing through. They want to start making excuses. They want to stop going to the gym. They don't want to hire a trainer or a coach. What advice would you give them?
My advice is to remember why you wanted to change in the first place.
Ooh.
Think about why you got excited. What was it? Was it that time you stepped out of the shower and saw yourself in a mirror and did not like what you seen?
Mm.
Is it one of those moments where you have a health scare? Think about that. Think about the longevity of your lifespan. Think of the things you want to do and the people that you're going to impact, the sphere of influence that you do have. It could just be your family. It could just be your girlfriend, your fiance, your husband, whoever. But remember why you wanted to get started and just think of it as 1 day increments. Because if you think too far down the line, you will get derailed because life happens, things happen. But if you're like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to be great. I'm going to stay consistent. I'm going to be disciplined and I'm going to be patient because I think consistency plus discipline plus patience will equal success.
Yeah.
If we neglect patience, that's the part where we lose it. When we live in such a quick fix society, you know how we are when Wi-Fi doesn't work, we flip out.
Yeah. You're not going to get your perfect body like Amazon Prime. It doesn't come in 2 days.
Hello.
I love that. I love that. All right, man. So you're a fitness guy and you know that that's the foundation. I love that. You've got a bunch of other cool things going on. Tell me about this new book that you just dropped.
Yeah, just dropped November 1st called Building a Family of Faith. It is a 52 devotional. It is to bring families closer together and draw them near to God. But there's this weird epidemic in our world right now where families are held at a high esteem. And for some reason, it's not as important in a sense of a foundational family and really working towards building your family. And so I wanted to create a book where it's fun, it's interactive. You have faith, family, fitness all in the book. And you get to learn and grow. And there's these pillars in our life that if you build upon your faith, you build upon your fitness, and you really take care of your family and hold your family at a higher esteem, that's going to impact your life and other people's lives. You don't realize your purpose here. Your purpose may be here for you to impact the next president, but because you're not stepping into what you're supposed to be doing and you're lacking in that area, you could be harming someone else without even knowing it.
Because you're not following a set of principles.
Yeah, because you're not following certain principles or tapping into what you're created to be. This
52-week devotion, it's a game plan for the whole year that brings the whole family together. It's faith focused. And the principles inside the book, because I know you said it was interactive. Take me through a couple of weeks. Kind of how does it stack? Give me kind of an example of how this is setting the tone for the week.
Yeah. So this is what the book looks like right here.
That's what's up. Look at that.
It's beautiful. It's vibrant.
Yeah.
And it's a weekly thing. It's supposed to last throughout the week. We start off with a scripture, a Bible scripture. And the way I set this up, it is a template for anyone who's never, ever opened up the Bible or done anything like this or done a devotional. It's plug and play. You get in, you read a scripture, and then there's let's think about it sections. I'll ask you a couple questions to start getting the pot stirred, to make you think about some stuff. And then the next section is let's get into it. So we get into a little bit of how this applies to your life, and then let's learn. The let's learn portion is for you to actually learn a little bit about what God is saying in that scripture. And then you can see how we were talking about the let's get into it and how it applies to your life and your family's life. And then you have a let's talk about it section where now this is opening up the doors for you and your family to have a discussion. Or if you have young kids who don't talk or aren't that chatty, it's okay because they are listening.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Give yourself some grace. Don't stress about it. All you're doing is setting the table, setting up the environment for God to enter and he do all the saving. You're just opening up your home for him to come in and help build a family of faith. And then there's a let's act portion where you do fun things. For example, there's one in there where our family one summer said, you know what, we're going to do for the remainder of summer, every day except one day a week, we're going to do 100 push-ups a day.
Okay.
It sounds daunting, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, I even say in the book, you choose the number, you do where your fitness level is at. But for our family, we did 100 push-ups. And so you can imagine we have a 2-year-old. We're not expecting her to do 100 push-ups.
Mm-hmm.
However, in the house, once certain music came on, my wife would turn on the song. Everyone runs into the living room and we're all crunching out push-ups.
That's awesome.
My 2-year-old is doing the most hilarious hip thrusting push-ups you would ever see in your life. Again, it is just bringing a family together.
Yeah.
And I won't give away what we did at the end of that whole summer. You'll have to read the book to see it.
Okay, I love
but
it.
It's
Keeping
awesome.
Suspense. Oh, I love that, man. I love that. So it's given actionable ways to lead your family at home with a faith-based foundation. I read this book recently, Kingdom Man, Tony Evans, and he was sharing, the foundation for church happening on Sunday. It's not just to show up and listen like you're listening from the stands. It is to apply the principles throughout the week, that the dinner time is for leading the family, not just eating, leading, not just eating. And so this is giving you another step. It's like come to church, get the scripture, hear the lesson. Now apply it, take action on your faith with your family and put it into work, because faith without action is dead. Yeah, man, this is giving you the principles for it.
Yeah. And I literally have a devotional in there talking about that, where what is it to read the Bible or get the information, but you don't apply it to your life.
Right.
Without you applying it to your life, it's like looking in the mirror. I mean, the Bible says it's like looking in the mirror and forgetting who you are when you walk away.
Yeah,
I'm excited about this book. It's powerful. And I'm not just tooting my own horn. It literally is a game changer. And hearing some of the stories coming back already about what it's doing for families, it's been so cool to hear.
Well, I'll make sure I drop the book link in the notes on the podcast and throughout, make sure to get as many eyeballs on it as possible. And for the listeners that are watching and listen to this later, get a copy of this book and then give us some reviews. I'd love to hear how it is getting applied, because anything that allows you to take the foundational principles, biblical principles, and apply them in the family. It's the family. If we save the family first, everything else gets saved. The communities, the businesses, it's bringing back that family unit. And you touched on something that, the family's been under attack, like the family has been divided. How have you been fighting against that other than a book like this?
You know what? Really having to think about, instead of reacting, responding, really trying to not just react to certain things, think about it, take it in, and then respond to it. Because there's so much stress going on, anxiety, issues, huge attacks on all of our families and situations, period, that the stress levels are so high. There's more arguments for no reason. Little things can set you off. When if you would just take a moment, breathe before you react, and then think about it. Is it worth arguing about? Is it worth it? Is it really worth, causing more stress? And that stress actually really impacts your body, as you know, as a fitness guy, shoots your cortisol levels up. And if you have high cortisol, what it does to your body, it's horrible. If you're wondering why you're gaining so much weight and you're still working out, but you're high stress, everything you're eating is turning into like sugar. And if you don't burn that up, sugar's turning into fat and your body's holding on to it. It's a world of stuff that happens just from that. So I would say literally one of the first things I'm trying to do now is make sure I'm responding versus reacting.
Love that, man. And what a cool thing to be able to teach your kids. Those 4 little children, those olive trees are going to be changing future generations, man. Love that. Well, you're into something else that's pretty cool. I'm not a huge football fan, man, but I'd love to know how you got into what you're doing with the watch parties with the Seattle Seahawks, what that looks like, and just kind of walk me through that. That sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm an in-game host and host for the Seahawks, and I do social media hosting as well. And what I'll do is on a game day, at the games, at the home games, you'll see me host a thing called Touchdown Party. It's just an elaborate version of tailgating, just a really amazing version of tailgating.
Yeah.
And inside the game, when the game is going on, there's a team of us. There's like 4 of us, and we do different games. And you'll see me on the Jumbotron, getting the crowd going, doing halftime show stuff. It's fun. It's exciting.
Yeah.
It's exhilarating. Also, I come up with different ideas to add towards the Seahawks social media. May host a few segments. I'm just along for the ride. It's been awesome. It's been amazing. And they found me on TikTok.
Okay. Is that where your primary social media started, is on TikTok?
No, actually, mine started on Instagram.
Okay.
But when the pandemic hit, I started working at Lifetime Fitness on March 1st here in Seattle. On March 12th, I was sent home because of the pandemic, and I was furloughed. That same day, I also was hacked on Instagram. Someone hacked my Instagram and I lost everything. And since then, we were able to get my name back. I lost everything still, but I was able to start fresh. And then during that time, I went over to TikTok and I started posting every single day. And TikTok just went crazy. It just blew up. And I loved it because I was literally just being myself and having fun and doing what I do.
That's awesome, man. What were those first videos? Were they fitness based, or they were?
Yeah, because I was trying to figure out TikTok, so I wasn't sure. So I posted a few like fitness videos, like Superman push-ups and all kinds of, fun. I just gave myself parameters. I'm like, I'm going to post 6 to 9 times a day, and
on
not
TikTok.
miss.
6 to 9 times. Damn.
6 to 9 times a day, and I did that for over a year straight. And even to this very day, I have only missed like 5 days I don't post.
Okay.
Not 6 to 9 now, but I did that. And from that point on, it was the craziest growth I had ever seen. Next thing you know, I started seeing thousands, 5,000, tens of thousands follow each day. And it just took off. It just blew up. And it just showed again what consistency can do for you.
There you
Being
go.
disciplined, that's not just fitness, that's a lifestyle.
Yeah. How you do anything is how you do everything, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you took what could have been a very bad time, like for a lot of people, the pandemic, getting closed down, fitness industry got hit the worst, and you doubled down on you bet on Andy, and Andy showed that he can do anything, even in downtime, blew up your TikTok, and you got picked up. So Seattle Seahawks, like, scout team, like, saw you, or what?
No, the mascot Blitz. He saw my TikTok, DM'd me and invited me out to training camp. Came out to training camp the year prior to this and was just out there checking it out. It was fun, having fun, brought my family. And then March, they invited me to like a influencers media day, combine media day. Okay. So I did that, and they wanted to meet with me, and we had a conversation regarding the possibilities of if there's an interest for in-game hosts. And I said, you know what? Sure. And from that point on, my first, I guess, live interview was to co-host the Seahawks NFL draft. And that was amazing. They had me take over the Seahawks Insta story, their Instagram. Had so much fun when I did it. And from that point on, it's just been different things. That I was able to host a watch party in Vancouver, Canada. And the people in Canada are amazing. They showed so much love. So it's just been a ride, a great one. And I'm honored to be a part of it.
Man, I love it. And I pulled a couple lessons from everything you shared, man. One is consistency, discipline, fitness is a foundation, play the long game, be patient, do what you love, be passionate. Yes. All these things, build such a foundation for a happy life. I mean, I would say you're living your dream, man. You got 4 beautiful kids, you got a wife, you got a faith foundation, you got fitness dialed in, and you're helping people find their purpose through fitness. Yes. Which is gangster.
It is. And I'm telling you right now, guys, really sit down and figure out what you're passionate about.
Oh, let's go.
Because once you figure out what you're passionate about, you're going to work towards it. You may have a 9 to 5 right now and you wish your passion could be your job. It can. It's just about what kind of work you put in. I was training 45, 50 hours a week, and I'll come home and then do another 20 hours of my passion. I'm coming home. I'm filming videos, TikToks, Instagrams, content creating, writing a book, all kinds of stuff.
Let's go.
Until
with 4 kids.
With 4 kids, you know? And so it can be done. So and it changed for me when I sat down and said, okay, here's my pros list. Here's all the things I love to do. All the things I enjoy, all the things I'll do without being paid. And then here's my cons list. Now being able to visually see it, it's in my subconscious daily. Every day I'm looking at that list. I would suggest you guys do that, because then you really start to hone in. And then that's when I found out what my pillars are. My pillars are faith, family, fitness. And it's always been a part of my life. I just didn't have a word for each one.
Yeah.
And then after seeing it, I was like, okay, so everything I put out, you see me, it's initially I thought it was going to be faith, family, fitness, fashion, but I embody in fashion. So I didn't, so I just was like, you know what? Everything I post, everything I give to people is going to be through those different pillars, those different lanes. And I'm excited to be the CEO of empowerment, where I encourage, elevate, and empower people to be the better versions of themselves.
My man, that is beautiful. Preach. That is beautiful right there. And it's what I hear you say, man, is get clear on what you love doing. Figure out your non-negotiables, the things that you would do for free. What would you do for free if you had all the time in the world, you had all the money in the world, and if you couldn't get paid for it even? What would you do for free? Like, that is the foundation. That is that golden thread. That is God's thumbprint on you. That is your purpose. That is your passion. And when you figure that out, that's when the rest of the universe falls in love with you, because you do that, and that's your unique gift. Your unique gift that no one else can do, which opens the doors to greatness.
Absolutely. And then the biggest thing would be get out the driver's seat, walk around the vehicle, and sit in the passenger seat and let God drive. Just be along for the ride. Okay. Just be along for the ride. You may think you need to go down the street, make a left and a right, but God's like, no, I think we need to make this right. Trust me, follow me. I have your life already written. Trust me, that takes off the anxiety, that takes off the stress, because if that door was shut, it was shut for a reason. God closes doors that no man can open, and he opens doors no man can shut. So if it's for you, it's going to be for you. Yeah. So stop trying to interrupt and make it happen instead of putting more faith in God and what he has in your life, and do your part. A man plans his steps, but the Lord will direct your path. So you still make your work. You do the things, set your list up, but be cognizant to listen. Man, I think God's telling me to just wait.
Faith on faith on faith.
Hello.
Let's bring it back just a little bit. For the men and the women that are listening that don't have a foundation of faith, that aren't getting into the word regularly. And I know, get your book and get into that daily devotion. But what has been some of the ways that you integrate faith into your daily practice, into your week? How did you build that relationship?
First thing I do is when I wake up, I pray. I've gotten to a point where I'm not touching my phone. I'm not checking social media, anything, until after I pray, and then make my bed. And so right now, currently, my wife and I are doing a read the New Testament by January 1st. So we broke down all the books in the Bible. And so you can either listen or read the book. And I have to read 7 chapters a day or listen to 7 chapters a day. Guys, as soon as you start just doing something consistently,
there it is again.
There we go. I mean, you just can't out train. You can't out eat. You can't outwork consistency. That is a common thread. I have a hoodie that is in our clothing line called What's Our Secret? Consistency. At the end of the day. So consistently choose the things that you need to work on and work on it. And I'm a loving, empathizing type of person, but I'm also going to tell you straight up, if you're not going to be consistent, don't expect success.
Yeah.
It's not going to just fall in your lap
Yeah.
in that sense, because even if you receive an opportunity, but if you're not ready for it,
You'll
do you
blow it.
really want to get that opportunity and then bomb it?
Yeah.
You don't want it before you're ready. Worry about the things that's behind closed doors that you can consistently work on. And so for me, daily, I pray. I do my best to make sure I stay on point with reading now, because for a
Mhm.
while when the pandemic hit, it was like up and down. We weren't reading as much
Mm.
and you had to hit the reboot. And sometimes that happens, but hit the reboot button and get back on track.
I love that, man. I love that. Foundation and discipline in fitness, discipline in faith makes you disciplined in your family. So your family, your young ones, your wife, your work can catch lessons from you because you're living in alignment to God's plan. Dude, you got it all figured out. What are you most excited about coming up?
Okay, so I'm really excited about an interview that's going to be taking place next week. I just can't say what it is yet, but
Okay.
you will see very soon on my social media. But it's pretty big. I'm super excited,
Oh,
and I can't even believe it's a reality right now.
congratulations on that. I'm excited to
Thank
see
you.
who it is and how that interview goes. You're gonna crush it, man. You're a natural on here. You got
Oh,
such good
thank you.
energy.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah, I'm
awesome.
super excited for that.
Is there anything that I haven't asked you yet that the listeners need to know about?
You know what? No, you're awesome, bro. Great questions. There was a post that Elon Musk had put out, like 15 things he wished he knew before 25
Mm,
that would have helped him. I mean, it's like, I'm going to give it to you in like 3 minutes. I'm not going to give you all 15, but there are a few that jumped out to me that I'm like, I have to say this. Train yourself to let people win arguments on purpose to conserve your mental health.
say it again.
Train yourself to let people win arguments on purpose to conserve your mental health.
Mm,
That's deep,
That's
because
stoic right there. Yeah.
it is, because there's something in you. If you're alpha or you're a competitor, sometimes your pride wants to make sure you win it.
Mm,
But it's so much. Why do you
yeah.
need to? Just imagine the restraint that it takes and how much stress you would just let go if you
hmm
would just, you know what? I don't have to win this argument. I'll let you do all the babbling and talking. And
hmm
think about it. If that person doesn't have anyone to argue with,
There's no argument.
there's no argument.
Yeah. That's
uh,
awesome. Love that.
Another one is, you become more mature when you train yourself to take nothing personally.
Mm, true.
It's, it's very true. You can't expect honesty from people who even lied to themselves.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's
that right. That's the last one I would say. You
yeah.
can't expect honesty from people who even lie to themselves.
Man, that is, if as a coach talking to another coach,
Hello.
we see that lie so often. And I have a forceful approach with some of my coaching clients
Uh-huh.
where it is I ask them permission. I say, can I put my coaching hat on for a second? And they already
Yeah.
know because they're in a coaching session. I say, I'm going to deliver you the hard truth that your friends, your family, your working women are not giving you, and just bomb drop, right? Because it is the lack of awareness that prevents you from growth. It really is.
It
When that
is.
lie is there and you're looking in the mirror and you're just saying, this is good enough. I'm okay with this. You're out of integrity, out of authenticity. You are so far from your true potential. You're not going to reach it.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you right now, my life changed when I was the most critical of myself.
Mm,
Like brutal honesty, because
mhm,
you're the one with yourself every day. You know, if you're
mhm,
putting in the work or if
mm,
you're slacking. People may not
mhm,
think you aren't, but you know.
uh-huh.
So if you don't see the process going to another level, if you don't see the results that you want, that's on you. And if you're not willing to be honest with yourself and ask yourself the hard
Mm,
questions, then you're going to have to live with the repercussions.
mediocre life.
Mediocre life. And I
Yeah.
don't know too many people who really want to live a mediocre life. Some are fine with it. I know
Yeah.
for me, that's not a life I want.
No, no. And as soon as you start opening up that onion from the standpoint of I want the best. It is a nonstop personal development journey. It never ends. It is every day getting 1% better every single day.
Yes. So hence why I don't have it all figured out. I'm still learning. I'm a sponge. I'm always trying to grow and be better. I'm learning from you today on this podcast. I would never have it all together because I want to continually grow, and I never want to put myself in that place, because as soon as you feel like you've arrived, there's no growth.
Yeah,
and
man.
you just go stagnant.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well said. Well said, man. A educated and humble man, all around badass. Andy, this has been a pleasure. I got one last question for you. I ask all my guests this because I want to respect your time, because I know you're busy, man. Last question. Finish this statement. A man of value is
Humble.
Ooh.
Has a love affair with humility, because at the end of the day, things come and go. It could be, if you are hyperbole up and down, you're only good when the high points, and then when there's lows, you're ready to just give up. That's dealing with pride. Get rid of pride. I know for men, we're like alphas and our pride is high. There's a way to be able to be as cunning as a snake, but soft as a dove. Like, you can still be an alpha, but man, fall in love with humility, because then it comes, you're appreciative of it, you're thankful, but then you move on to the next. You don't make it your identity. You don't make it your life. You have other things you have to do. And to stay stuck in a moment, you're only hurting yourself and the people that you're supposed to impact.
Yeah, man. Beautiful. Boom. If I had a mic, I would drop it right there, my friends. Andy, this has been such a great conversation. Guys, make sure you check out Building a Family of Faith, Andy's new book. Check him out on Instagram, on TikTok, and YouTube as well. He's got some amazing content. And if you're a Seattle Seahawks fan, make sure you check out his show. Give him some love. And guys, if you enjoyed this episode, please do us both a favor. Give it a 5-star review. Give us a ranking. Share it with a friend that needs to hear this. Share it with a man that needs to tap into his fitness, needs to tap into his faith. These are the type of accounts you need to follow. Guys like this that are men on a mission, changing the landscape of masculinity by showing up with humility. What a beautiful thing to do. Andy, thank you again, brother.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. All right, my friends, much love, many blessings. Talk soon. Boom.